Yeah.
You're listening to Still I Rise Tea Party with Tarsha T. Rodgers, only on LA Talk Radio.
All right, y'all can unmute yourselves. Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Tea Party. I am your host, Stes, Miss Tarsha T. Rodgers, and I have my co-host and fellow board members of the Still I Rise from Cancer Incorporated, Miss Kenji and Miss Tezra. And we have special guests with us today because today we have a special topic. We're going to discuss cultural appropriation. But before we do that, and I introduce my guests for today, Tezra, you were going to tell me earlier, did I hear about 45? So please enlighten me on what the clown has done now.
Oh no, it's the clown's associate, Steve Bannon, his ex-advisor, was arrested in connection with the border wall fundraising scheme. He basically ripped off 3 associates. I'm reading this from ABC 7. He ripped off 3 associates, associate donors, trying to fund a southern border wall. Yeah. And I guess taking people's money and not building the wall, using it for other personal means. So yeah, he was arrested today.
Oh dear.
Yeah, with the list of all the other cronies that were in cahoots with him or had some type of connection affiliation with him. But of course, he always says, I don't know anything about the project. Yes, you do. Because you've been pushing for this wall for the longest.
Well, yeah. And he, he has said that all of these other people were going to help fund it, and that never happened.
Yeah, he said Mexico was going to fund the wall. Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think about the DNC? All of their good stuff they've had going on this week so far. What do you think about it, Kenj?
Well, I kind of feel bad because I didn't get to watch it last night.
Oh, what?
I know. I can't believe I missed it. Yeah. Especially when I was privileged to perform at one once.
Oh wow, okay.
That's cool.
When Al Gore was running. I was one of the 4 selected singers that we got to sing to introduce his wife when she came out.
Nice.
Yeah, that was really nice. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it, which I know I should have. I'm sorry, but I had some family things going on.
I thought about us when the first opening night when they did the Star Spangled Banner and they had the group of people on the Zoom that did it. I was like, oh my God, our choir could have done that. KGLH could have done that. So easy. And I'm still trying to see if that's an option for the Charger game. So keep your fingers crossed.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh, that would be
cool. So what would happen, of course, we would, like Ty says, you have when you guys see Zoom singers, know that they pre-record that and they're kind of just like lip syncing to the pre-recording because there's no way to sing live on a Zoom because there's a reverb, there's echo, and there's delays, and so I actually saw there's a video where I actually did see someone who tried, or a group of people that actually tried to do a Zoom that way, and it was a hot mess on roller skates. So anytime you do a Zoom with music, like a group of people, they have to pre-record it, and then they get to kind of sing along, just kind of like what the choir does too, Chesra at Faithful Central. You know,
Right.
they yeah. And you can tell it's even pre-recorded because even with them lip syncing, they're not following the exact words. It's
No.
but at least the
Right.
sound,
You get the gist.
you get the gist because the sound is there. And at the end of the
Right.
day, people want to hear a choir anyway, not see one. So it's all about that sound and that sound being tight. So I was hey, Tracy, I was just sharing with Kenj, you know, we're doing before we get into our topic, we're doing our little current event bantering. And I was just sharing with Kenji that that could have been KJLH doing that Zoom at the beginning of the DNC where they did the Star Spangled Banner. It was a bunch of them. And so I'm trying to see if maybe we have that opportunity to do it for, you know, the Charger game that I do every year. Because I would really like to sing that with a choir.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, I think I was going to try to do that for the Sparks, but I don't even know what's really going on with the Sparks and if they're even doing the breast cancer day. So I said, well, I could try it with the Chargers because I know football, I guess, appears to be going on regardless. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just kind of talking about, you know, what everybody kind of thought about the DNC. Were they impressed with the speakers so far?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm just excited for, and again, I'm not Democrat nor Republican. I'm actually independent, but I need a leader with decency and class. So
Right.
I feel I've had so much of the other with the Trumpsters. I'm looking for morals, decency, class, empathy. I need someone who cares about everybody, not just the rich, not just who, you know, a certain group, but a president that's going to care about everybody. So I'm so far so good. You know, I'm kind of liking what I see. I'm very excited about Kamala because as a fellow Black woman, I think that's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I just wish that we could get it together here in California. I'm not, you know, and I don't want to get all off into deep politics, but you know, I'm not a fan of Newsom. I've never been a fan of Newsom. So it is what it is. And if, you know, I have no, again, I'm independent. So when it came down for that election, I did not vote Democrat. I voted Republican. So, you know, I tend to, my views are right straight down the middle. So I tend to go with who I think is going to be the best fit. And I just wasn't too thrilled with Sir Newsom. You know, I kind of like some of the things he's done with the virus, but in terms of the beginning of shutting down, but I also realized he gave in towards the end with Orange County and some of the other people kind of making a fuss. And then you go and you try to shut down again and you're creating a problem, especially for people that are in the industry of my guest today. You know, in the Shanisha's in the hair industry. So you're open and close it, open and close it, open and close it, open and close, and that's problematic for her. Same with Kenji. I know Kenji, you don't do it on a full-time basis, but you know, but still, it could be problematic for somebody that is in that industry. So I just kind of wish
California. Remember?
Yes.
I have, you know, my decor business also.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, because that takes events, and if everything's shut down, there are no events. So I get it. I totally. And then we're all singing.
People had to cancel, reschedule, and all, you know.
Yeah. And then you Tracy,
you were gonna say about the singers, yeah. Look at how many shows have.
And so we would actually be in the middle of planning for a night of R&B in October. Mm-hmm. And every time I think about it, it kind of makes me depressed because I'm like, because this time last year we were right into the throes of Bree teaching those dance steps for the What's Love Got to Do with It and all of that. And so, you know, that was fun. And it's like, okay, there won't be a show this year. So I still have to try to figure out what I'm going to do in its place. If I'm going to have something in my backyard or very minuscule or not. But, you know, I'm still not at the point where I want a whole lot of people at my house. And the issue becomes, even if I did something like that in the backyard, where are they going to go to the restroom? Because you can't all come in here. Sorry. So do I get I have to get a rent a pool potty or whatever. So it just becomes a lot. So then it's like, okay, well, we just need to just, wait till.
You got trees in your backyard.
I have trees in my backyard. That's too funny.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Also, Tarsha, don't forget the Taste of Soul.
Oh my God. Yes. We would be getting ready for Taste of Soul. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And I think this is the first year. That is huge. And this is the first year that hasn't gone on since it's been in inception. I think it's always gone on since they started it. And that not only is that huge, I mean, you have over 100,000 people on Crenshaw Boulevard, but then you have all those vendors and just all the entertainers, all the different stages. Is so much that's involved with Taste of Soul. And again, we would be front and center on that as well, singing. So yeah, it's really sad. It's sad.
Just think about all that lost revenue. That's a lot of lost revenue right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead, sweetie.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. So now I'm going to introduce my guest, and we're going to move on to our topic of the evening. And I'm going to introduce my first guest, and then I'm going to let her introduce the other two guests and kind of move us into the segue of what happened and our topic today, which is cultural appropriation, and kind of let us know what went on and what the situation is. So my first guest is Shanisha Colvin. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? I hate to butcher names.
That's correct.
Okay. And she is a salon owner, and she does hair. And so there was a situation, and I just want to make sure I get the gist of it. There was a situation that occurred in your shop. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Where basically the other young lady that you're going to introduce that's on our show today had braids. And there were comments made about her braids. So I'm going to let you take over and kind of tell us exactly what happened.
Okay. First, I'd like to introduce SB, who is a client of Simplicity.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, SB.
Thank you.
And I'd like to introduce Terrell, who is a life coach.
Hello.
Hi, Terrell. Welcome. Glad to have you at the tea party.
Thanks for having us.
So now, what exactly happened with SB?
SB, would you tell the story? Do you want me to talk to it?
Sure, I can just go ahead and start it out.
Okay.
So I got the braids done, obviously, and they were beautiful. I love them. They're a work of art, honestly. That's how I see it, is really like a work of art, After getting them done, I posted pictures because I was pretty excited about them. Even going into it, I was kind of nervous of the idea of that I might offend somebody, because I know in the past I've heard that people that are not Black should not wear braids, the traditional braids, because it is offensive to the culture. So I was nervous going into it because I didn't want to offend anybody, because I'm trying to be the best ally that I can. So going into it, I was already kind of like I said, nervous.
Got it.
Posting those pictures kind of took a bit took a lot from me, I feel like, because I didn't know how people were going to react. And most of it was good feedback. A lot of people were asking where I got them done. They wanted to know like who did them, because they were really nice. And there were actually a couple people though who pointed out that it is not my hairstyle to be wearing, and that I should not be wearing those braids, no matter where my heart is, no matter what I'm thinking. It's not mine to be wearing. And they kind of were DMing me on Instagram, and it was a couple people letting me know basically that was the gist of what they were saying. And I took it to heart because, like I said, I'm trying to be the best ally I can. So hearing that feedback from people, I wanted to make sure that I was being correct also, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. So
So
she
how long did you have the braids?
For about a week, I think.
Okay.
About a week. Yeah.
Did you remove the braids because of what they were saying, or you just, you know, at some point it was like, okay, well, I'm kind of done with this style. I'm moving on to the next.
It was a little bit of both.
Mm.
It definitely impacted the way I felt like walking around.
Okay.
Because working retail, I'm around a lot of people. So walking around the store that I work at, like I felt like kind of self-conscious because although it's beautiful and I like felt really confident in them, I also felt self-conscious that someone might be looking at me like she's appropriating my culture. You know, like I don't care what she's thinking, but like her wearing those is automatically offensive to me. And I didn't want to make anybody feel that way. So just kind of like walking through life thinking that was kind of hard as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's always amazing, and I'm trying to actually pull up the picture. It's always amazing to me, you know, people and their perceptions of things and you know what they feel is right or wrong. Um, yeah, and I'm sorry that happened to you because I know as an African American woman, I have no problems with the way someone wears their hair or chooses to wear their hair. Because and I'm sharing my screen, so
The
I would
braids
hope.
look nice. What was the
Yeah,
problem?
exactly.
They're
So
so beautiful. I love them so much.
How did
they're very beautiful, and I'm sure you had to sit a while for that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
we had a good time. We spent about, was it 5 hours, SB, at the salon?
5 or 6 hours, yeah.
Yeah, and our salon is a multicultural, so we had a variation of people come in and out, and everybody just, in the midst of braiding her hair, was complimenting her on how beautiful they were coming out and how great she looked with them.
wow, wow. So now, what is the ethnicity of the people that had something to say?
So one of them was actually white. The other girl, I don't know exactly what their ethnicity was. They did have a slightly darker complexion. They might have been Latina or Hispanic, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure.
Now,
I didn't want to ask. I felt
right.
Yeah.
Now, was this your first time getting braids, SB?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And again, I'm sorry you had that experience. Would you ever get them again?
I've thought about that. I definitely would have to build up the confidence to do it again and just like be really confident in the fact that I could just wear them and not have to worry too much about what people are thinking. But like also like I'm on both ends of it. I understand where people are coming from when they say that it could be cultural appropriation, but also like I feel like by saying one style or another belongs to a certain culture, it's also dividing people as well. So like I'm on
Correct statement. Yes.
And I'm going to say something, and I don't know how well or not well it will be taken. And it, of course, it has nothing offensive to you whatsoever. But when we as African American women, I go blonde, and that's not to say that there are no African American women with blonde hair, because there are. But we have taken on other cultures and their hairstyles for years. That's kind of how I see it. With some of the things that we do to our hair, at the end of the day, it's not our natural hair. So it's like, okay, who are we appropriating? I'm of the mindset that you wear your hair the way you want to wear your hair.
Definitely an art. Yes.
Yeah, it is art. And however you want to express your art is your business. And I think it's silly, really, for anybody to feel otherwise. I don't have any problems when I see someone that's that's Caucasian wearing braids. But I remember Bo Derek did the whole braids or whatever in the movie.
Right.
And she looked good to me. She looked gorgeous.
She was a segue into a lot of non-African Americans wearing braids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you have the Kardashians, and I kind of understand why they do it, because they've got these daughters with hair that they comb that way, and I think they want to look as much like their children as possible. And I don't have a problem with that either, because you have a lot of interracial children. And so, if you're a white mother and you've got a black daughter, more than likely at some point she will have braids. And so if you want to rock them so you and your daughter can be twins and look alike, I don't see the problem with it. But Terrell, I'm interested in getting your take as a life coach. What is your take on all of this?
Well, in the aspect of when Nisha hit me up in regards to the situation, I thought it was crazy. And the first thing I asked was, what was the race of the people that had issues with this? Because normally, I don't think that Black people, and I speak for majority of us, don't really care about how you wear your hair. It's more so the aspect of, does it look good on you?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's the only time we're gonna say something. Like if you're wearing it and it looks crazy, then we're gonna say something like, you need to get it done.
Right.
Right.
I just felt that it was really strange to me that people that aren't a part of the culture are telling her that, like she's offending the culture.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, who are you to comment?
Exactly. Like you don't have a right. Like you're not qualified to have an opinion on this subject. But I didn't want her to take the braids out, because at the end of the day, then that's them in a sense winning. And they got what they wanted. They wanted to make her feel a certain type of way, and they wanted her to get it out. Which, and at the end of the day, they weren't looking out for her. They just had an opinion and they wanted to share it.
They were saying some racist things, and they were telling her that she wanted to support the movement of, racism being a major thing in the African American community. That she was going about it the wrong way. And Terrell had a lot of good points when I called him. I was taken back when SB had called me, and she was really upset, as she should have been. And then in turn, I felt very upset because I just kept reverting back to the actual appointment where we were braiding her hair, and it was just a great time. It was every ethnicity that you can think of at the establishment at the time, and we all were just having a great conversation just about life in general. I had to call Terrell because I couldn't collect my thoughts on how somebody would ever think this is okay to do. And I wanted to get some guidance on what to tell SB, because I didn't want to speak incorrectly, because I would have been speaking out of a place of emotion.
Got it. Wow. I noticed, SB, though, that now you have kind of cut your hair really short. So what precipitated that?
Well, I've had that. I buzzed it about maybe like a couple years ago as well, and it's just like liberating. I was like, I need to do it again. Once I've done it, like it feels the best. It's the best.
I can imagine. Like you wake.
It's so pretty.
It is very pretty, and you're a very beautiful girl. It's like, I know you wake up like, oh, don't have to deal with hair.
And then my scalp loves
like this.
Oil. It's the best.
She's very versatile in what she does with her hair, so I didn't think that she would ever get any flack about it. Not to mention, starting off braiding, I learned how to braid on non-ethnic hair.
Okay.
Just what I've done. I braided over 1,000 people's heads. I never gotten a feedback of someone basically gave them flack for wearing a hairstyle, more or less. And so Terrell had a good point when I called him. He had several good points. Just basically, like you mentioned before, Kardashians. What else did you mention, Terrell?
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I really remember what I said.
It was just we were in the.
But I mean, there's this saying that I've heard recently, and it's kind of true. Like, to be a Kardashian is, it's to be Black now. Like, they've procreated our culture so much that it's become normal. And when Black women do it now, it's taboo, even though we started the stuff.
Right. Wow.
And I think that's where the problem also lies, is like people like we're talking about like Bo and the Kardashians kind of wearing the style like comfortably, when a lot of Black women were having trouble just wearing their natural hair. They would get kicked out of school for wearing dreads and things like this. Like that was where the problem came. And like I understand that side too, because like I can wear the style just for fashion, you know, but someone may get in trouble for wearing it, or like maybe looked at different because of it, you know. And that's what really made me start thinking differently, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And to touch on that, someone actually on our Facebook says that Sharon says society has made Black women think that there is something wrong with the texture of their hair, and that's the reason we've taken on the look of other cultures. So, you know, kind of the flip side of that, you know, a lot of Black women, you know, are not comfortable in their natural hair. It's funny because Nisha and I were just kind of talking about this earlier today. You know, if I'm performing, if I'm like during the summer and I don't want to be bothered or whatever, you know, I'll throw on some type of protective style. When I'm performing, I'll do wigs or whatever. I kind of stopped doing weaves a long time ago because I feel like the weave make your hair thin. But for the most part, you know, I'll take a old fashioned wash, blow dry, press, and flat iron and keep it pushing any day. Cause you know, it's the same as your buzz cut. It's a relief. I don't get it down. I don't have anything else on my head. I can
It's a release right here with me wearing a natural.
But you know, I will give my sister credit. You've never had any of those things ever. I mean, you've had braids, but you have never had a wig. Well, you had the wig when you did the chemo, but then when you saw how cute you look with your bald head, then she's weird.
You giving me inspiration. That's because I'm kind of teetering back to like going bald again.
It's the best hairstyle. It's so liberating.
It is. Nice. You don't have to worry about it. You sleep, you wake up, and then you just go. I have to worry about nothing.
I can't ever go completely natural because I like color. So if I want my own hair flowing down,
that don't mean nothing.
No, I cannot. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. If I try to wear my hair, you know, all flowy in my own hair, I can't go as light as I am right here with this crochet.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Up on the floor.
Yeah. No, not for you, darling.
I gotta, you gotta compromise somewhere, and it's like, okay, well, I can throw some hair in there. At the end of the day, I'm doing me, and if I like it, then everybody else need to love it. Right. And I think that's an idea, SB, that you need to develop. If you like it, then the rest of them just need to lump it and love it. But
go to hell. Just tell them to go to hell. Basically. Sorry,
well, I think
it's on your hair.
If you would have called me, it would have been a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I have a question for you, Nisha.
Yeah.
Did anybody address these ladies that were making the comments?
That's what I talked to Terrell about. I didn't want to add to the negativity.
Okay.
I didn't know how I can go about addressing it positively. So we decided to just basically do a podcast and kind of, basically get it out to the world. Like, this is okay.
Yeah.
This is okay. And your comments are not okay. If they're negative, they're not okay.
Right.
Yeah. Tracy, what do you think about all of this that happened? Tracy?
I hear you. You talking? You know what? I'm really having problems hearing you, so I'm concentrating on what to say. But I think it's actually sad that we're in 2020 and we're still having issues in this area. I think that everybody is entitled to wear your hair however you feel you want to wear it. If you want to walk around with red, white, blue hair on your head, it's your business. Yeah. It's nobody else's concern. I think we put too much emphasis on what other people think. I can really give a rat's behind about what anybody cares about what I put on my hair, whether or not it's mine, yours, hers, or anybody else. It's mine. And if I bought it guess what? It's mine. If I put my money on the table and walk out the store with it, it's mine. It doesn't matter.
Right.
If she wants to wear whatever, she wants to walk out her door right now, go buy her an Afro wig and sport that sucker for the next whatever till the election is over. She is well within her right to go and get her little Afro wig.
Absolutely.
I think she get her some Afro Plus, walk down the street and be proud. And don't worry about what other people think. That's me. You know, I could care less. I got up this morning to put this on. That's my business. But I could rock my own hair if I want to rock my own hair. I just chose not to today. Tomorrow I may be in something totally different. That's me. You know, I want to be long hair by Saturday. I want some hair down to my back. That's my business. All these other women around here walk around with it. And it don't look like it belongs to them. Them edges tell the story.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. The edges will tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
What would you suggest, you know, if you were to advise Espy how to handle someone coming at her negatively like that, what would be your suggestion?
A question for me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the name.
Yes, no, yeah, the question is for you. What would you advise Espy if someone came at her, if she decided to wear braids again and someone came at her in that negative light? What would be your advice as to how she should address it?
I think that with most cases, someone's going to say something no matter how you wear your hair or what you do. So it really doesn't matter. And it's so cliche to say that it doesn't matter what they think or what they say, because words do hurt. But I would advise you just to, just tell them, thanks for your opinion, and just keep it pushing, because at the end of the day, like, what do they really know?
What do they really know? Right.
Yeah. Like,
right.
Why is it so important? Like, even if a Black girl, like, for instance, my cousin, she shaved all her hair off, and because of the whole Black Panther movie, everybody was like, oh, Wakanda forever to her, which is racist in a sense, because you're only saying it because the movie came out and it's to, she looks like one of the girls that are on there. When since the beginning of time, Black women have had short hair, long hair, like it really doesn't matter. But that's just to say, it doesn't really matter how you wear your hair or what you look like. Someone's always going to tell you something. And not to quote NDRE, but I am not my hair.
Right. Yeah, I'm just reading some of the. Go ahead, Candace.
I wanted to say a couple of things about that. I think one is when we were talking about like how when Black people wear a certain hairstyle, then if another race wears a hairstyle, is looked at different. Like, for example, if I'm asked to, well, not necessarily if I'm asked, but if you see a Black girl with pink hair, purple hair, any different color hair other than her color, she's ghetto. But when you see a little white girl, a little Hispanic girl, that it's, oh, how cute and how colorful. Or, people make it like it's so cute and it's fun. And I think one of the problems is that with the Black culture and their hair is that a lot of times people are afraid of what they don't know, or they're they don't know how to respond. So sometimes they respond in a negative manner. And I think for Black people, sometimes we get upset at the fact that other cultures can wear our hairstyles and they're looked at different than we are. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
We're always ghetto when we do something. It's like we can't have anything without them trying to make it look bad. Now, as far as if it was, it's a good thing she didn't call me, because my block game would have been strong. Because all them little negative people block. Because guess what? There's no way I was gonna sit in that chair for those 5 hours and wear that beautiful hair, and you're gonna come on here and you have something negative to say, then I don't need you. I don't have time for this, because I love it. I'm embracing it. But at the age that she is, I don't know, I might have did the same thing as her. You know what I mean? I'm older now, so I don't give a damn about what people think or say about me. So I would have wore that. But being that she's young and you know, she hasn't been around as long as some of us to where she can learn how to just let it roll off her back. You know, that hurts my heart that baby had to go take those braids out, because I thought they were beautiful. When you sent us the picture, I was like, wow. And I'm going to tell you something. Black people come in so many different shades. That, to be honest with you, that picture, she looked like some of my family members.
Yes.
She looked mixed in the, you know what I mean? Realistically. So you never know. I got family members where we you know, depending on who your ancestors are. I got family members that can pass. And I got family members that are so pro-black that they can pass, but they're like, don't you dare look at me as anything other than black. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we have to learn how to embrace who we are. I think this was a great experience for her, that if she does decide to get the braids again, that she will not allow anybody to tell her anything about who she is, what she can wear, what she can do, or what have you. And when it comes to other nationalities getting on her about it, I think they're mad because they don't like seeing her embrace the Black culture.
Right.
I don't think it had anything to do with them saying that she couldn't wear that or what have you. I think it had a lot to do with them being haters. Hating the fact that it's just like how the people feel about whites at Black Lives Matter marches. They're mad at them for loving us, for believing that we have that we are equal, that we shouldn't be treated like this. So the fact that she embraced the Black culture and had those braids, that pissed them off. And that she looked so beautiful wearing them. She wore the hell out them braids.
Yes.
And so you always have to look at where it's coming from. When people make negative comments, you got to look at where are those comments coming from?
Right.
How is my hair? Is it paying your bills? Is it stopping you from eating, putting food on your table? No.
Why is it a problem?
Then keep it pushing. There's a block ministry and there's a scroll ministry. And you can do either one of them when it comes to me and my page.
Right, absolutely.
Everybody knows her stance on the Black Lives Matter. She's, basically she's very expressive on her Instagram, and it's quite entertaining to look at. So she's not shy about, and correct me if I misspeak, SB, you're not shy about your feelings about the whole movement right now. There's not a day that it goes by that she doesn't post something in reference to something about the movement out there with the racism.
Because I'm really trying, like I said, I'm really trying to be the best ally I can. And that's why I took their words so heavily, because I consider, I'm changing my hair all the time. I consider myself pretty confident in myself when it comes to me changing my hair. I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not because someone else wants me to look a certain way. So, but specifically during this time and in general, I really want to be the strongest ally I can. So when I hear that it could be I could be looked at differently, or I'm not a good ally because of it, then that makes me question, and that's why it really I took it to heart this time specifically, or for that specific style.
Yeah. So kind of refresh me. So were they fellow customers, Nisha, or what was it? It happened on social media.
It happened on social media. I posted it, so did SB, but I was okay after she told me it was one comment. Okay. But when she forwarded me the comments, it was several comments. I think after the first comment, I was speechless. I was angry. It was kind of like, why?
It was a couple paragraphs. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they would try to speak on Stan's for the African American culture in general. And additionally, they had tried to speak and state that it was ruining her hair. And it was like,
it's gonna ruin their hair.
It was such strong content that I just honestly, somebody needed to be slapped. So that's why
wow.
You know what?
Because they have nothing about their responses. They don't know what they're talking about.
But you know what? That's what they call.
Is it still? Because I want to go on there.
Somebody on Facebook said what we are talking about goes deeper than just the hair. The two people that said something about SB wasn't directing it to her. They don't like the Black culture or people. That seems like the
that goes with what I said.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as what you said, Kenji. Their issue is not with the style or even worried about the fact that you could be infringing upon Black culture. They don't care for Black culture themselves, and so they're pissed that you dared to try to do that. Like Kenji said, you're trying to ally with us, and they have a problem with that.
I did not think about it like that.
My thing is,
what about the fact that she just liked the style? It ain't got nothing to do with no pro-Black, nothing, none of that. How about I just like the style?
Right.
How about that?
She said she's mentioning.
How about I don't want to comb doggone hair? I'm gonna put some braids in my hair.
She says she's been wanting braids for years, and she finally got the nerve to do it. So it's like she loves the style.
Honey, when you choose to have those braids again, put them in your hair and wear them. Forget all these people, because if you concentrate on what people say, you know, I get what you were respecting, you know, what was going on. I get that, but you need to be you. And when you concentrate on worrying about what other people say, it does not give you a chance to be you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you
are special. Because you're not going to be able to please everybody.
Yeah.
So
her main thing was she was offending our culture by wearing it, because that's one of the comments they had stated multiple times. And so I was like, no.
And my thing is, you don't talk and you don't speak for everybody. That's the problem with people.
Not only that, how can they speak at all when they're not even a part of our culture?
Thank you.
Right.
Honestly, about Black or white. You
do that.
Don't speak for me.
Right.
Just because you're Black. You don't speak for me. That's why everybody is different. Everyone has different opinions.
But you didn't hear me, Tezra. They're not even Black. So that's a whole nother level.
You know what? With that, I'll say this. People perceive European beauty as one beauty. It's the standard. No, it's beauties for all walks of life. And that is the problem.
Yeah.
When you
but the big issue here is, how dare you try to say what's cultural appropriate for a culture that's not even yours.
Right. You don't even know.
So if we're not saying anything, who are you to say something?
Exactly.
You're
not our spokesperson either.
Right. SB is the same age as my daughter, so I just felt like I needed to protect her.
Yeah. How old are you, SB?
20.
20. Okay.
SB, you could be my little sister. Where they at?
Well, she could be my daughter because my son's 21. So, those are bullies. Those are just.
That's exactly what
That's what it really comes down to. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. So now, are you still friends with them on social media, or did you just cut ties?
I unfollowed them. I was like, I don't need that, you know.
Good.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
And if you get your hair braided again, make sure you tag all of us in there.
Yes.
Because we're gonna have let the troll let them come. Let them come, baby.
We'll troll them all right.
Yeah.
We're right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there was a I'm gonna quote this movie. I don't know, I can't remember. I think it was Fried Green Tomatoes or something, and these two two little young girls pulled in the parking spot.
Oh yes, that scene when she took a parking space.
Do you remember? She sure did. And so the two young girls got out and said, well, we're younger and faster. And the lady ran into her car and she was like, oh, what did you do? She said, I'm older and I got better insurance. So she was like,
that part.
Whatever. You want to be funny? So that's why I said, baby, you want to post something because we got your back.
Thank you
a lot
so
of
much.
times you have to know how to speak. You have to know how to speak to people like eloquently. Have you ever, like, you have to learn how to cuss people out without cursing.
Exactly. I always tell people
I'm not
that
at that part yet, Kenji. I want you to feel it.
A lot of times it really depends on not what you say, but how you say it, because your message can be diminished by your delivery.
Absolutely.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I like that. I like.
Yep.
Yeah. You're mute.
You're muted, Tarsh.
Oh, she's
because I had to sneeze. My cat is in here with me, and her hair is starting to grow back, and so as her hair grows back, the allergy.
Oh, gotcha.
Wait, y'all. Wait, Sharon posted, tag the I wish you would crew.
Right.
Absolutely. There was another comment I saw on here. Yeah, somebody said, where are the comments coming from? People who would never say those things face to face. I would definitely agree with that.
All day.
What they call keyboard gangsters.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hiding behind the screen.
They talk all this madness behind that computer screen, but would never face and say all the hateful things.
Yeah.
Right.
To be honest, I did ask her, do you know where they live? I was like, let's go have a conversation. You know?
Right.
No, they're gonna be something.
What other advice, Terrell, would you give SB regarding all of that?
Well, I was under the impression that at least one of them worked with you, if I'm not mistaken.
I went to school with one of them.
Went to school with one of them. So, and I felt like just like with certain things, like I don't always want to assume or come from the place that everybody's always against us or they're coming from a bad spot, because they may have very well been coming from a good place. Not saying that they were, but they could have been coming from a good place. So if you were to come at them in a forceful way, that it could have been blown more so out of proportion.
Got it.
So if anything, the best case scenario in most cases is not to entertain people, because when they come at you with certain things, you already know that they're not level-headed enough to actually have an intelligent conversation with you to discuss this in a reasonable manner. So literally, I'm not saying to block them, but literally just ignore some of these conversations. Because you responding is just gonna elevate the conversation, and it's gonna bring more light to it and more negativity to it than you want to have. And then there you go, feeling even worse than what you did before, after the first initial comment.
Yeah.
You're right. Right.
Just kind of feeding into bad comments and energy.
And sometimes that's what the people want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Misery loves company, right?
They're just trying to get that reaction, really, basically.
Yeah. I had an incident, I want to say like 2-3 weeks ago. Someone DM'd me, didn't follow me, don't know who this person is at all, followed me and told me that us Black people are the reason why there's racism, we're causing the racism.
What?
And I'm like,
what?
I didn't respond back to it. I didn't respond back to it. And for maybe like 2-3 weeks, so then finally I'm like, okay, let me just see. Like, I was like, do I know you? Like, how did you even find my page? And they commented back, and I had to laugh at this point, because they're like, no, you don't know me because I didn't grow up in the ghetto. And I was like, okay, you know what? At this point, you want an argument. So I was like, I'm not even going to feed into it. I just thought it was funny. I was like, because I didn't grow up in the ghetto. But like, but like it there's people out there that are like that. Like, how can we cause you to be negative towards us? Just by the color of our skin.
Well, that was a troll.
Definitely.
I felt like that was a troll.
That was definitely a
for sure.
troll.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
But that's
and you know what, Terrell? Those are the kind of people where you respond when they say stupid comments like that, like, about you growing up in the ghetto. Those are the kind of responses where you say, well, that's unfortunate for you because it was fun for me. You know,
exactly.
you know how you like turn stuff around, like
Yeah.
what
Turn
they
it around.
think is a
People
bad
hate when you
thing,
do that.
turn it into a good thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Rick James, ghetto life. Rick James had fun in the ghetto, playing tag with winos.
Man.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, people will be people. And again, it's all how you kind of react. And it sounds like you're very level-headed.
She is.
Reacted in a way that
Thank
was
you.
like, I'm just going to remove myself from this. But please don't shy away from ever wearing your hair in braids again, because they were
Right.
simple. And
Thank you.
yeah,
It's a work of art.
Everybody in Simplicity loved you. They couldn't believe that you were just 20 years old. They loved the conversation that you gave. And just like Tasha says, she's so mature for her age. You know, it was like, wow, her mom needs to be told that she did a good job. So let your mom know we said good job.
You're gonna love that.
Yeah, and you know, and if you please, you know, I'll give you. Well, I think I have your information. So the next time you get braids, please tag me, because if I ever see anything, it's on and cracking, because I'm gonna be like,
tag me too. This will be a fun experiment.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's do it when it goes out.
yeah, because
I probably won't be as tactful as my sister. So
I love as a older, I love to put people in their place, and maybe I'll cuss and maybe I won't, but you know,
but you don't cuss as much, Tarsha.
If y'all saw these comments, everybody would have been cussing.
The comments were very offensive.
They were just like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I wish I would have saw it. Yeah, because
so how you gonna have the audacity to tell people how to wear their own hair?
Their
hair. She paid for this service. They didn't.
Right. Absolutely. Well, our time is up. But I really think this was a good topic, and I actually wish I could have get them on a show and just be like, what's your deal?
No, that what's your problem?
Exactly.
Can I ask her where her hair salon is? If we could.
Absolutely. Yes. Shanice,
hair salon?
Give a plug for your salon, please.
Our salon Instagram is Simplicity 805. We are located in Camarillo, California on Arneo Road. We are a multicultural hair studio where we do lashes, waxing. Every culture is welcome there. We do every walks of life. We do men, women, and children.
Excellent.
All textures of hair.
Excellent.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Terrell, thank you for your insight and for being a part. Thank you, SB, for sharing your story. Thank you for even bringing this to the forefront and bringing it to my attention, because I hope we help somebody to know that let people be expressive in their way and do them, and you just worry about you and don't worry about what somebody else is doing. So. And as I always say on every show, our glory does not consist in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Still I rise, still you rise, still we all rise. Until the next time, we will see you at the tea party. Still I rise. Not built to break. I stand strong each and every day.
You're listening to Still I Rise Tea Party with Tarsha T. Rodgers, only on LA Talk Radio.
All right, you guys. Let me